All right, what is up, everyone? Welcome to Spoiler Kings. My name is St. Curry with Brandman Brandon, Brian the Grizzly, and we have back with us Perp from PurpMinded, his
Here.
channel. What is up? So we are going to talk about Hereditary, a little bit of a newer quote unquote classic. But before we do that, Perp, let everyone know where they can find you at.
Find me at PurpMinded. I talk about movies, TV shows, everything, etc. Got two different kind of podcasts. The Perp Show, and I got a horror podcast I just started, and we're like the last four episodes. That's the Horror Never Dies. That's gonna be Saturdays at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So definitely go check that out. And at the end of the year, I got a award show, so got a bunch of stuff going on. So I appreciate the invite.
No, yeah, I appreciate you coming in, man. And then once we start talking about like we gotta do horror films, like your name was like the first one that popped up. Yeah.
Exactly.
So we were like, yeah, we definitely gotta get Perp in here. So yeah, we appreciate you coming in and hanging out with us and talking about Hereditary. Most of all the other films we're talking about are pretty old. This one is not, but yet we're still gonna talk about it because I think it's a movie that changed, I think, the vibes of horror, and it's very different, in the era of jump scares, and like trying to catch the crowd, the audience off guard. This one went the opposite. They're like, no, you're gonna see it the entire time, and we're still gonna scare the shit out of you. So,
Yeah.
Very, very weird, very creepy, very interesting kind of movie. It is an A24 movie, directed by Ari Aster. And this was, I don't know about you guys, but this was my first anything from A24. I'm like, what is this studio?
Exactly. The first introduction of A24 this is the one for me.
Yeah, I can't remember anything else after or before that.
I don't know if the witch was the well before that. Under the Skin with Scarlett Johansson, and if you know, you know. That's
freaking creepy movie.
Okay. Yeah,
not even that. It's just like you get to see some. You know what I'm saying? You get to. There's a lot of fan service in there. That's all I'll say. But
okay.
All right, you had me at hello.
Yeah, giggity.
Nice. I didn't see either of those. But I guess The Witch would count. But I didn't really know anything about A24 until that was more for me. The Witch was more of a Robert Eggers kind of thing than it is A24 thing. But this one was like, oh, look at it. What is this? The studio,
Yeah, I think Hereditary put more eyes on the studio more than The Witch did. Even though I think The Witch did have a breakout, but I feel like more people kind of started paying attention to A24 when Hereditary came out in Midsummer.
Yeah.
The witch was the foot in the door, so to speak.
Yeah. This is the one that got the eyeballs on it.
Exactly. After you make 8 times your amount of money, your budget, 8 times that budget, you win.
Yeah. So, and then also, was the first directorial debut for Ari Aster. So, either if you like him or don't like him, but yeah. So he is his first time behind the director's camera. But all right, with that being said, we're gonna get into kind of like how we feel about it, how do we like it, and stuff like that. So with Hereditary, Perp, what do you feel about it? How you liking it?
I loved the first time I saw this in theaters. I know, like, over the years, it's kind of like divisive amongst people. Like, some people really like it, or they really hate it. It's just one of those movies. You're either going to really like it or love it, or you're just going to hate it altogether. But it's similar to, because you brought up like it kind of changed things within horror, where we got this term. I don't know why people call it this, but elevated horror. I'm just like, it's just a good horror movie. There's nothing elevated about it, but it's just the tone and just the way it's shot. Just like Ari Aster, just like he just knows what he's doing behind the camera. That, like, there's just certain shots, and just Toni Collette just absolutely killed it. And if she ever wanted to do like a female Freddy, she could definitely do it. I'm just saying, just putting that out there. But
cool.
She did an amazing job, and just it's just those those subtle buildups until you get to a certain point where like, oh man, it's just hitting the fan right now. And that's why I really liked about this film, that it's very weird. It's a horror movie that takes itself serious. It doesn't heavily rely on jump scares. It's more atmospheric, things that are happening in the corners or even the corner of your damn ceiling. That scene was fucking crazy. Just just everything about it was crazy.
Yeah. Them putting, because it was there the whole time kind of thing, and it's like, but everyone noticed it at a different time. I felt like, so it's like, that was a kind of cool thing. But anything else? Any other initial thoughts?
With the foreshadowing as well too. I think that's really what kind of drives that film for me, is like all the foreshadowing, like with the little girl cutting off the bird's head and where that leads. Man, that was crazy. Yeah. That's all. That's all I got.
Yeah. Okay. Brandon, what about you? How you feel about Hereditary?
The word that always comes to mind when I think about Hereditary is one that's admittedly kind of overused when it comes to horror, but I have to use it anyway. I'd say visceral, and I'm not just talking about the like the shock value and some of the things that happen, the infamous driving at night scene, that the acting, especially from Toni Collette and Alex Wolff in particular, the dinner table scene. That's a standout one. A lot of the raw emotions that they're conveying, that they're bringing across, you really, really, it's easy to be more missed than hit when it comes to that, and you're not feeling anything, but they really make you kind of feel something and get invested. And just in terms of like Toni Collette, through a lot of her expressions throughout, I think it really, really sticks the landing and then some there. And I see why it put Ari Aster on the map straight away. That's what really makes it an effective horror for me. The kind of not even feeling uneasy, but feeling like flat out uncomfortable from beginning to end. And then right until the climax and what goes down then. And I like that it's very the movie feels very like, from the way it's shot and just the mood of it, it feels very compact, if that makes sense. Almost claustrophobic.
I also feel like very tunnel vision. Like you're only seeing what they want you to see.
Exactly.
And you're focused on this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
that is interesting. Yeah, because you do feel that and I never really thought about it until you kind of said it right now. It was like it 100% makes sense.
Yeah. You just feel like that, like just kind of like, and the walls are just kind of getting like thinner and thinner. So yeah, those are the things that really make Hereditary work for me. And I don't think I heard anything about the movie until like a week or two before it came out. Yeah, talk about a debut, when it comes to Ari Aster. Yeah, that's all I had.
Okay. What about you, Brian?
Well, this is one of the movies that told me, that showed me why I don't trust seances. I don't deal with stuff like that. Like I don't need any of that stuff in my life. Never drink and drive. It's another thing you need to know. And I love the double meaning of the movie, of the title. Because we have the cult, we have the Hereditary of the cult thing, being there, and then you have also the schizophrenia, and the double, all those same things, and you don't know what's what, because you can explain away a lot of stuff that happens in the movie. You really could explain away, like, okay, as you said, we said in the car, drunk driving, you're drinking, you don't know what's going on, but then it's the same pole. Like, how does that work? But or you have schizophrenia, so you are schizophrenic, so you imagine a lot of this stuff is happening, but it's not. It's because you put yourself in that situation instead of just being straight up a cult. Like it's something that it's hereditary in that way, but it's not really that. It's magical. It's more to it, and having that sense of doubt actually puts more fear out there.
Mm-hmm.
So once again, another movie that I don't need to see again.
Also, just don't bring your sister to a party. That's another
Done.
thing.
Exactly.
That was Toni Collette's character's fault. Why'd she want a little 10-year-old girl going to a party with a bunch of teenagers?
Yeah.
Even during the dinner table scene, her son calls her out on it. Why'd you want me to bring her there so badly? And she ain't got shit to say.
Yeah. But we haven't even talked about Charlie, the little girl. Like she is what made this movie like really great. Those little like ticks that she did, that was it makes
very
sense.
Unsettling.
Oh, it was so unsettling because the whole time you're just like, oh, that's just who she is, and
Tourette's
that's what she does, a Tourette's or something like that. But then later, you find out like, oh, you're speaking in like demonic language kind of thing. What the fuck, like what is going on? It's like
I don't fuck with that.
Yeah, I know that was like crazy, and that was like that's why it's like this movie puts things in front of you and shows you, and you're there seeing it the entire time, and then by the end you're going back and you're replaying the entire movie in your head. You're like, oh shit, they did this, they did that.
Oh
yeah, so it starts to change things, and I thought that was great, because especially in 2000. So this movie came out in 2018. Yeah, but then but like a bunch of Insidiouses and Conjurings and other movies, and everything was about the jump scare. That was what horror was, still kind of is that jump scare. This just being like, oh no, we're gonna mess with your mind, and kind of like what Brandon and Brian said is, and you're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel like the world closing in on you, and you're just kind of like feeling uncomfortable the entire time, and then by the end of the movie,
you won't even know what to trust, what's true, what's really reality.
Yeah.
Like that scene with Toni Collette just sitting on the ceiling like that, and she's crawling on the ceiling. I'm like, bro, don't do that. Stop that. Stop it. And there's two things that like are effective for me in horror movies. You make creepy ass kids and creepy ass old people, and Charlie was a creepy ass kid. Like she just don't say nothing. She just be making noises. It was just terrifying.
Throw the kid away. Start over.
And one of my favorite scenes.
You didn't want to have the baby. If you didn't want to have these babies, you shouldn't have that baby. Damn it.
But
have you not seen Omen?
But my favorite scene though, and just how they went about that, is like where Charlie loses her head and the brother just goes home and just goes to sleep. That's all he could do.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just like he doesn't have any words. He's just like, you know what? We go home, just sleep it off, because it almost feels like, without being said, like it's almost like a dream. Like he doesn't feel like this was real until like he wakes up, and then like you hear Toni Collette screaming. I was like, man, that's brilliant.
Man, yeah, those screams like really, really got. Well, they never stopped. They still do. Whenever I watch the movie, like Jesus.
Yeah.
And Ari Aster just let it go on very, very long. So it's just to basically twist the knife.
Well, now seeing other movies from him, he was like, oh, that's what you do. Like, sometimes you don't know when to stop. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So
addicts.
In this case it works. Yeah, the addicts. But yeah, this movie was definitely like something I didn't expect, and it really blew my mind for me, because I was just like, I remember walking out of the theater and I was like, what was that? I was just expecting another horror scary film and whatever. It was like, this one just completely like messed me up a little bit.
I was waiting for it to end because it was so much. I was like, man, my mind is about to just explode. This is too much going on. I'm not sure what's reality until the end, and then it was so messed up.
And the fact that they have the guts to just do that with Charlie, because normally people kind of like pussyfoot around, like bringing harm to children and stuff, and some people like it's like, nah, you're gonna see this, like. So I feel like I think that was also a kind of what kind of might turn people off, but if you just pay attention to the movie, like they're setting all this stuff up to just kind of happen. It's like foreshadowed earlier on in the film, and you just see things kind of just play out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just the way it ended was just like, for me, the whole time I'm like, how did we get here? Like, what happened? Like, wait,
The floating head, like endless people.
yeah. So, but yeah, this was kind of crazy, man. And even watching it, like I said, I watched it earlier this week just to refresh myself with it, and still, I was just like, I still know what's coming, and it's just like, damn. Like,
Right.
it's just the movie sets everything up so well that even if you've seen it, you're still kind of like surprised a little bit, or like shocked still, and
Picked up something newer.
Yeah. So I mean, especially
It's
this
just a
one,
beautiful. It's just a beautiful film to look at. Like that one scene where all boys on fire and stuff. I was like, man, that's such a clean scene. Like such a clean and just bright, vivid kind of at times like film that just I don't know. It's all just coming back to me now. Like,
yeah. Well, with that being said, Perp, where are you gonna put this on your Halloween must watch?
I'm definitely gonna probably try to rewatch this because I haven't seen it since I saw it in theaters, so it'd be interesting. I wish out of the movies that A24 decided to re-release, it would be Hereditary because I would like to see that in theaters again. But yeah, I would definitely rewatch this like on around Halloween season.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. What about you, Brandon?
I was never really a big watcher of it during Halloween season, but now that we're kind of talking about it, and I've been watching enough stuff as it is, only 4 days in, I can find room for it in there somewhere. Who knows? Maybe it'll become a regular watch after I watch it again, which will probably be sometime this weekend. So
yeah,
I will. After I watch it, Friday night, Saturday morning, whenever, we will go from there. Maybe it'll become a Halloween regular. I've just associated it with horror in general, never necessarily Halloween season. Not to discredit it at all, but maybe give it a shot and see what happens.
Yeah. What about you, Brian?
Nope. I don't want to watch it. I don't want to experience it.
Time.
I saw it on accident. I thought it was going to be it's like I thought it was going to be a mental thriller, and it was not. I mean, it had some mental stuff in it, but it was straight up horror. And I can't even do my corner of the screen looking thing because they had things in the corner of the screen. Like
I got you.
I was like, I can't believe this stuff, man. It's a effed up movie, and it's so well done. And I will never watch it again. I'm not doing seances. I ain't doing little kids. I'm not doing the occult. But man, they did all those things very well.
Yeah. They did that. I think I was kind of with Brandon, where like it's a good movie. Obviously, it's creepy, it's freaky and all that stuff. I never really associated with like Halloween, but after watching it again, I'm like, yeah, on a nice like foggy night or something like that, you want to like stay in and watch like a really creepy, weird movie. This might be it. So
have the sound system like blaring.
Yeah, everything is pitch black and stuff like that. And I think it's because maybe it's a newer movie. Like I just feel like I just saw it in theaters not that long ago, which is true because it came out in 2018. So it doesn't have that nostalgia that other movies have and stuff like that. But as time is passing, it's getting older, and it's still a good movie, and it's really freaky and scary and creepy and stuff like that. So
that's a good point.
Yeah, so I wonder as years go on, this might start becoming more and more in my watch list. So yeah. Because right now my watch list has kind of changed. It went from like movies we can watch while the baby's awake, and then movies I can watch. Because Erica don't do scary movies either. So yeah, I kind of went from those two. So it's like I have my daytime Halloween movies and my nighttime Halloween movies. And this is definitely a nighttime one. So yeah, but cool. I don't know. You guys got anything else? Any last thoughts or ideas?
That's pretty much it on
Tony Collette should have got nominated for an award. That's another thing. That's a whole nother conversation with horror. Like there's so many great like horror performances that just get overlooked. But
yeah, she was great. She was really, really great in this one. Yeah, but yeah, I do agree with that. She should have been at least nominated. But yeah, but cool. Yeah. Appreciate everyone checking us out, talking about Hereditary. If you've seen it and you hated it or liked it, leave a comment down below. Let us know what you thought about Hereditary, and if it's part of your like Halloween watch list now, or is it still a little too new for you to put it in that rotation? But leave a comment, let us know. Hit the subscribe button, hit that like button. Make sure you go over and check out PurpMinded, his channel. Hit that subscribe button over there on his channel. He's doing all those great things as he said earlier. With Horror Never Dies and all his movie reviews. This, Brian said it earlier.
He beats me to it.
Yeah, you always have those reviews out nice and early and stuff like that. So always a good time to go check that out. So appreciate it, Perp. Thank you for joining us.
No problem.
We appreciate it, and thank you guys for checking us all out. But we will see you guys in the next Halloween must watch movie. Later.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much.